We're also going to talk about legislation I introduced this week to protect Christians in Nigeria. Nigeria has seen a persecution of Christians that has been staggering. Just this week, over 60 people were murdered by jihadists, by radical Islamists in northeastern Nigeria. They executed soldiers. They went house to house. This pattern of targeting Christians, targeting Catholic priests, targeting individual men, women, and children is horrific. And my legislation would put real consequences on the government of Nigeria and those who are facilitating this persecution, put real consequences on them to change that.
The fact that this issue has not gotten on people's radar.
Right, no one's talking about it.
It's pretty amazing. If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. And again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They've burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are their Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Thank you. Thank you. Because no one will talk about it, so thank you.
I think it's pretty powerful to have somebody who says, look, I'm not a Christian, but I cannot believe that this is happening. And this should be something that is horrifying every single person in this world, regardless of what they believe spiritually, because you have a situation where Christians are being, as he said, systematically targeted. So I have to hand Bill Maher some props for this, because he's speaking up. He's speaking out, and he's doing what a lot of other media outlets are not doing, which is telling the truth. At CBN, we have been telling the truth. And Raj, you've done great coverage on this. I have covered this. We need to be shouting this at the rooftops, because the fact is that more people die, more Christians die in Nigeria than anywhere else in the world. And it's horrific. It's shocking. And I love the fact that Bill Maher was willing, again, he's known as a big atheist voice, right? We've talked about this many times, and yet he's sounding an alarm that the media, who should be doing their jobs, are not sounding.
If you turn on primetime news, you're probably going to hear about what's going on with Ukraine.
On Ukraine.
Ukrainian city of Dnipro.
Ukraine has come under heavy bombardment from Russia.
Or what's going on with Gaza.
But in Gaza.
For Gaza.
But you're probably going to hear nothing about the fact that one country has executed more persecutions towards Christians than any other countries around the world combined, and that's Nigeria. Just this year, 7,087 Christians have been killed, beheaded in many instances this year, just for going to church. Since 2009 till today, 125,000 Christians have been killed in Nigeria, according to the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law. By the way, when you're looking at the surge, 7,087 just this year in the first 220 days, that's 35 a day. 7,800 abducted. They disappeared. Can't find them anymore. 19,100 churches have been destroyed. Imagine you going to church. Imagine on Sunday, you just want to take your kids to church. All you want to do is go pray, maybe, sing a little bit, worship music, listen to the pastor, the preacher, what they have to say, the priest. 19,100 churches have been destroyed. By the way, 10,000 schools have been destroyed that are teaching Christian theology to kids, certain values that they have. And in Nigeria, specific areas, they're being targeted. Now, who is doing the targeting to these Christian communities, these Catholic churches? Many of these guys are the jihadists, one of the leaders being Boko Haram since 2009, later splintering into ISIS West Africa province, the ISWAP and Ansaru, conducting mass killing, forcing conversions, and abductions. And you're seeing this in the news. I'm going to put a picture here for you to see on what's going on. This is what they look like. They're just going around targeting Christians, burning homes, seizing land, destroying harvest, sexual violence. And the way they're going about doing it is they're going at night when you're asleep, night assaults on villages, church seizures and burnings, mass kidnapping, land grab, creating no-go zones for Christian natives. And families are sitting there saying, what do I do? I just want to go to church. I can't. You saw a service with everything that's going on. I mean, we get the challenge with our faith a lot of times. How strong is our faith? Is our faith as strong as this guy? They're still in church. They're still there praying. They're still singing to worship music, even though all this stuff's going on. You hear guys talking about, they kill my family, they kill my parents, they burn my house down, they burn my relative's house down, they burn my kid's house down. All I have left is this shirt I'm wearing. Here's what the fellow is talking about. I want you to watch these two clips. One of them is them still going to church on a Sunday, and one of them talking about what happened to him and his family.
My family members, they died in this house, 11, and some died in the other stores. Here and up, my house is up there. That place also is burned. And the store where I pack my goods, I store my goods everywhere, has burned. They burned my clothes, they burned everything, they burned our food. All my family members, what we take we eat our
This very day, 210 persons were slaughtered in one night, in less than 24 hours.
The video from the Father's Day massacre includes graphic images of people being burned alive, families attacked, and homes destroyed in Yelawata, Nigeria.
That very day, it was raining. So, Fulani herdsmen, they invaded the community and claimed so many lives.
Around 12 midnight, we started having calls from Yelawata that the Fulanis have come and they are killing, burning.
Friday night, I was sleeping in my house. See my house there. I come here, they shoot gun. Later, they come, they break this house. Where my brother is sleeping here with his children. Thereby, they come, they kill people. They were breaking the house. Say, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar.
These first-hand accounts gathered by Truth Nigeria journalists describe the ongoing atrocities in a terror campaign to eradicate Nigeria's Christians. Judd Saul, filmmaker and missionary, the organizer of equipping the persecuted, highlighted this documentary as a way to sound the alarm.
We need to fight this thing threefold. One, America as a government needs to get involved with a very little. I'm talking very little of our resources. If we just did the very little bit of push an aggressive foreign policy, throw some sanctions, whatever it takes, I think we can put a significant dent in this and put a stop to this.
U.S. Representative Chris Smith of New Jersey, who has traveled to many dangerous areas in Nigeria, has introduced a resolution in Congress to help stop attacks fueled by religious hatred.
There has been an exponential increase in attacks on Christians and some Muslims, but Christians in particular. Protestants, evangelicals, Catholics, they're firebombing their churches. The Fulani are killing them with absolute impunity. We've called on the government in Abuja and the president several times to do what governments do, law enforcement. Use the military if you have to, but stop this genocide and do it now.
The resolution points to Nigeria's government's apparent open border policy that allows almost free access to the country. Fulani militants and ISIS-linked extremist groups from neighboring countries take advantage of this policy to carry out mass murder, rape, and kidnappings.
We're also calling on President Trump to reissue, which he did in his first term, the designation of country of particular concern. And that then gives the president wide latitude to impose sanctions. It's an excellent bill when it's used properly. It gets the attention of all the policymakers, in this case in Abuja. It says, we're not kidding.
First of all, insecurity is a problem, not just in Nigeria, but globally. And governments the world over are making the effort to fight against that. But there is something very, very unique about the recent surge of this clamor by not just the congressmen, but the Western media in the United States. It is an agenda-based. It is based on a plan to destabilize Nigeria, to create. I'll give you a context. Immediately after the United Nations hunger, when Nigeria, took a position in relating to so many issues around the world, including issues in Gaza. 24 hours later, Bill Maher... We went for two-state option. Yes. 24 hours later, Bill Maher, who is a comedian and a journalist in the U.S., of course, of the Jewish descent, now cried out. But from the content of his complaint, you can deduce that there is an agenda, because he said he wonders why the young people in Nigeria are not out in the street, and then he accused the media, Western media, of not covering it. The report that he was relied on was a report released not during this administration, but in the administration before now. Then that begs the question, where were they when that thing happened and when that report was released? Secondly, the author of that report, Intercity or whatever non-governmental organization, find out who are the funders, who are the people funding it. And thirdly, the report has been debunked and controverted by other reports, because one, it is outrightly false that that number of people that they said were the number of people that were killed, they said were Christians. It has been debunked that it is not so. So what they do is that every crisis situation that happened in any part of the northern Nigeria that result in the killing, they classify all of them and categorize them as the killing of Christians. Now, I am not suggesting that there are no cases where Christians are killed or church mosques are burned, but the figure projected with the noise that is made typifies the picture or the textbook of somebody who has an agenda. Not long after he said that, you see the United States senators who are funded by AIPAC. The senators that are funded by AIPAC, in fact, they have recently come under backlash by the neocons and the MAGA people in the United States, took up this campaign. And for every mention of the issue around Nigeria, you will see them emphasizing people to go to the street and protest. That is a classical case destabilize, that there is a plan to destabilize Nigeria. We will not allow that, because if you have seen from the Nigerian point of view, Nigerians have learned. Nigerians are not taking them serious. But we need to take this disinformation they are given to the Western media and prove it to them that it is an agenda driven. It is not born out of care for the people that are suffering in Nigeria. Otherwise, they would have done something about it.
For over a decade, this has been the birthplace of innovation. Innocent Vehicles is a testament to resilience, employing international best practices to create more than just a car. Every vehicle here tells a story of durability, fuel economy and safety. Crafted with the African spirit, the Nigerian heart. These vehicles surrounding me embody the unique concept of regionalization, each one designed to cater to the tastes and preferences of our people. From the streets in Nigeria to the terrains of the Sahara, these vehicles are designed for our roads, for our people. This is more than a vehicle. It's a symbol of our progress, our resilience, our collective success story. Your feedback drives us to continuously innovate and improve. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.